Coal is known as the most wide varieties. That is, it is widely found fossil fuels, and is obtained from mines, specifically the coal mines, because the place from where coal is obtained are referred as coal mines, and they are usually coal remains under the surface of the earth millions and millions years. They used to remain over there. That is the reservoir of the coal material. So it has been used up from ancient times. Coal contains carbon as the main constituent part. Yes, main constituent part of the coal is carbon. That is, it is carbogenous material, and this, which is a combustible substance. Now thus, if we burn a piece of coal in the air, as it contains carbon, so that means the reactionary pattern will be that is carbon, that is coal, combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide gets released. This is on burning. On burning we get, when carbon burns in air, that is, we are getting carbon dioxide. Depending upon the type of carbon contained or the type of oxygen, if there is less oxygen available there, so there will be chance of forming carbon monoxide, and the equation is like this. Here it is more oxygen, here carbon plus oxygen, here it is less. That means on burning we are getting carbon monoxide, BRN, and burning we are getting carbon monoxide. This is carbon monoxide, this is carbon dioxide. So less oxygen with carbon monoxide is being formed, and more oxygen with carbon dioxide is being formed. Two situations will arise. As far as the coal is concerned, there are near about 4 varieties of coals available, and the coal ranges from the carbogenous material contains in the coal, it ranges from 55% to 90%. 55 to 90. And there are altogether 4 varieties of coals are available. Out of the 4 varieties are, number 1 is, that is peat, second one is lignite, third one is bituminous, and fourth one is anthracite. And anthracite is regarded as the best variety of coal because it contains a high amount of carbon. Hence, it is regarded as the best varieties of coal. There is also one more variety which is known as coke, and it is the finest quality of coal and this coke is being prepared. It is not being found naturally. We used to make it because this coke is highly utilized in the steel industry, that is in the metallurgical process, because in the steel industry it requires high heat, and coke can give high heat without causing any kind of smoke, poisonous smoke. So then it is the finest variety, it is another variety. However, in any case, whatsoever the coal is, here we have to know that in each and every coal possesses some disadvantages, means it has some impurities which contains, which gives a demerit part. Now the impurities which are contained in coal are like the elements such as nitrogen, another element such as sulfur. So nitrogen is an impurity contained in the coal, whereas sulfur is also another impurity contained in the coal. Simultaneously both are present in the coal. Now when we burn coal, when we ignite coal, so the nitrogen which is present over there, it is gets oxidized in the presence of oxygen and forming different kinds of nitrogenous oxides, which are also highly pollutants. Similarly, on the other hand, there is also one impurity which contains, so nitrogen can able to give, it can produce nitrogen dioxide, it can produce nitrogen dioxide, it can produce nitric oxide, it can produce nitrous oxide, it can produce nitrogen pentaoxide, and so. Different varieties of oxides will be formed when we heat a piece of coal, because the coal contains nitrogen as an impurity. On the other hand, it contains another impurity which is called sulfur. So when we burn a piece of coal, that which contains, and we know it contains sulfur as an impurity, so that means sulfur is burned in oxygen, and as sulfur is burnt in oxygen, so there will be formation of sulfur dioxide, or when excess sulfur dioxide combines with oxygen, there will be form of sulfur trioxide. So the situation may be like this: when sulfur combines with oxygen, we get sulfur dioxide, which is a part contains in the coal. And similarly, when sulfur dioxide again combines with excess oxygen or with more oxygen, then only there will be chance of having sulfur trioxide. This is sulfur trioxide and this is sulfur dioxide. Both the gases are highly poisonous because they remain in the atmosphere and pollute the atmospheric air. So these are the things happen. So this is one disadvantages of coal. Another disadvantages may be like this: a lot of soot is being formed when coal is being burned. If we burn a piece of coal or if we burn huge amount of coal, we will be noticing that lot of soot comes out along with the smoke. Soot comes out. So those soots are act as a pollutant and it pollutes the atmosphere. Similarly, all that exists in coal is not combustible. So there is a fair amount of waste available when we burn a piece of coal. Similarly, coal dust causes health problems to the miners because miners are well being affected by this coal dust. In thermal power stations, we can able to know that coal is being utilized for producing electricity. So after burning the coal, whenever we should burn anything, we will be getting the ashes. On the other hand, when we burn coal in thermal power station, so we will be also receiving the ashes. Some ashes remains over on the earth. It remains ground surface, and maximum they used to move along with the chimney. They used to release along with the chimney. And as we know, most of the plants, they have very big huge chimneys. Long chimneys are there, high elevated chimneys, and these exhaust gets released out of the chimneys and get mixed into the air. When wind blows, so it carries those smokes. Those smokes are associated with dust particles. Those are known as fly ashes. So these fly ashes comes toward the locality surface because due to wind blows them from that area to the people's residing area, and thus peoples are faced this problem, and specifically the adult face less problem, but minors they used to face much more trouble in this concern. So this is the thing happens in case of coal. Now we will be setting up to petroleum and natural gas. Petroleum is a thick, dark. Now what is petroleum? Petroleum is a thick, dark, strong smelling liquid. Strong smelling. It gives very strong foul. It's strong smelling, that is strong foul liquid generally found deep under the surface of the earth. It is available under the surface of the earth, and not only in a limited area, high deep. So that whenever if we have to avail this material, so we have to dig it high deeper part. Then only we will be reaching to the oil rig. And once we reach to the oil rig, then there will be chance of the extractions of oil. We can able to lift oil by means of pump. So this is the it yields many fuels. Unrefined petrol, which is referred as unrefined petroleum, is known as the crude oil. Crude oil. Natural gas is also being collected from the crude oil. On fractional distillation of the crude oil, we can obtain varieties of materials. Out of the varieties of a material, the first material which is obtained is the natural gas, and the natural gas is being obtained below 40 degrees Celsius. Now, petroleum inside. Natural gas collects over petroleum inside the earth. Wells are sunk to extract them. After that, natural gas is directly transported through pipes and used. Crude oil is transported to oil refineries for the purification purpose, because this crude oil contains different materials, but we need to separate those materials for our daily use. We need, because from this we can obtain petrol, diesel, naphtha, kerosene, paraffin wax, many items we can receive out of these. Here we can able to acknowledge it. Refining petroleum. How can we refine petroleum? We can refine petroleum by the process of fractional distillation of petroleum oil. That is, petroleum oil means the crude oil which is undistilled, and once it is distilled, so we get different products. Petroleum contains a large number of components with different boiling points. They are being separated by means of fractional distillation. So the technique involved for the purification of crude oil is the fractional distillation of petroleum oil So fractional distillation. The separated parts are called the fractions. In fractional distillation, now fractional distillation, a fractionating column is there where it is divided by temperature zone, and at different temperature zone, different substances are being collected over. Now, fractional distillation of petroleum is carried out in high steel towers. High steel tower in figure number 7.6 as is given in the book. 7.6. In oil refineries, the crude oil is vaporized at about 400 degrees Celsius. If we notice the diagram, we can able to notice it. If we notice the diagram, we can able to notice it. The crude oil is being supplied here at the lower, because at the lower part of the tank, as shown in the diagram, as the lower part in the tank, and as lower part, and it is above 400 degrees Celsius, and then after that it moves. It passes through different zones. These are the different zones which is being shown over here in the diagram. Different zones are here. Now we can able to notice that the crude oil is vaporized at about 400 degrees Celsius, and the vapors are fed into the tower. As the vapors rise, they are cooled. The fractions with the highest boiling point condenses in the lowermost region. the liquid collects in the cooling tray. There are some trays which are being there, and these trays, wherever it is being collected, it cooled over there, and it is laid out from time to time. The lower boiling components rise up to the tower and condense in subsequent stage in decreasing order of their respective boiling point. The uncondensed gas, which is known as petroleum gas, comes out of the tower. The residual part left over as asphalt, paraffin wax, and lubricating oil, grease, pomade, etc. All we get it. That is petroleum jelly, also obtained from it. The different fractions with their boiling ranges are given over here. So what sort of materials we can able to get? We can get petroleum gas, we can get below 40 degrees Celsius, we can get petrol 40 degrees Celsius to 170 degrees Celsius. This is the range. Similarly, kerosene we can obtain at the temperature of 170 to 250 degrees Celsius. Diesel we have received at 250 degrees Celsius to 350 degrees Celsius. Fuel oil we can receive such as 350 to 400 degrees Celsius. Lubricating oil, paraffin wax, asphaltum, all these are residual part which are being obtained above 400 degrees Celsius. Now, the usefulness of such are as under. Petroleum gas is used as a domestic fuel which is kept in the LPG cylinder. Similarly, petrol which is used as automobile fuel. Similarly, kerosene which is used as a domestic fuel. On the other hand, diesel used for fuel for automobiles, fuel for locomotives, fuel for using generator, fuel for pumps, and fuel used for agricultural machinery. In all the items, diesel is widely used. Similarly, fuel oil, usefulness of fuel oil is fuel for ships and industries. Lubricating oil, paraffin wax, asphaltum, all these are, that is used for lubricating oil is used for lubricating machines such as mobile is a lubricating agent. Similarly, paraffin wax which is used for making candle, which is used for making pomades, that is petroleum jelly, and grease which is used for fixing the ball and bearings, that is grease, which contains a carbon, that is grease. Similarly, asphalt, which is on surfacing road. On the surface of the road, asphaltum is being used, which is known as coal tar. In Hindi, which is called as alcatra, that is coal tar. So this is the thing happens. Now, natural gas. It is mostly, in natural gas, mostly the methane is contained. Methane part is contained, which burns when in air, it gives rise to water and carbon dioxide, and lot of heat energy is being released in this transaction. So, and here no pollutants are being found, no soot is being developed. In this concern. Hence, it is used as a fuel. Similarly, on the other hand, methane is also used in CNG, in compressed natural gas, which is known as the clean fuel, that is CNG, which is used for running automobiles. In Delhi, you have noticed that CNG is widely used because Delhi is the most populated city. Hence, to get rid of that population, more and more CNG vehicles are being run, where compressed natural gas is being utilized, and this gas we know it is a clean fuel, and that's why it is widely used for this purpose, even also for public transport also this is being used up.